Shannon, I want to challenge you a bit. Sorry for that. Here's an interesting question. You guys are building basically infrastructure for payments world, right? One of your customers, I know that is Brex, expense management platform, right, in the US. But you guys, on the other hand, also provide similar services. You provide expense management. You just mentioned that. Don't you don't you think your customers are threatened by these products that you are launching that basically directly compete with what they are doing actually?
I think actually it would be a shame if Airwallex was to say, yes, we have this fantastic infrastructure and we're not going to allow anybody else to access it. We also have an expense management solution, and yes, it is similar to Brex. Now, if customers said, hey, I like Brex because it has a particular feature that Airwallex doesn't have, but I really need Airwallex's sort of multi-currency solution, it'd be pretty disappointing if we're sort of like bad luck. There's no, you can only use Airwallex. We're the only one who provides this sort of integrated stack. That might be a little bit of a silly example, but I'm very interested to understand what companies will build with financial infrastructure over the next decade. Just because I have a lot of plans and exciting things to build, and one of them is an expense management solution, and I've got other products such as Airwallex Billing. I know I'm not going to be able to provide all of the different services that other platforms can come up with by having access to this financial infrastructure. I think it's not dissimilar to Amazon saying that they recognize the need to build sort of good, physical hardware management services, and they were able to sort of create cloud services in supporting their own online shopping and the other products they build. They recognized the value of that infrastructure, and they made it available to other companies, which really sort of elevated the ability for other tech companies to build great products into the future. I want to see companies build great products on top of our infrastructure as well, and I want to make financial infrastructure accessible. It's easy. Today, it's easy for cloud services to provide, data, compute, and storage infrastructure. Financial infrastructure is very difficult because of some of the challenges we talked about earlier with the licenses required, the regulatory aspects, the transaction monitoring. We are handling those parts of the financial infrastructure problem, and I want companies to be able to leverage this and build great solutions on top of it. So if you're a HR company, for example, that we talked about earlier, if you are a marketplace, for example, I want you to be able to access this infrastructure and build great products. I hope that Brex will continue to do the same.